In this video, we'll learn how to use MEXC crypto exchange. I'm going to go through setting up an account on the platform, how to get fiat and cryptocurrency on and off it, and then how to use the advanced trading screens right here so that we can have complete control over our trades. And I'll go through the rest of the platform as well, including futures and options and some of the other features as well. I'll leave timestamps for all of that down in the description below, and I'll leave the link to them as well because there are deposit bonuses and other bonuses that you can get. So just click that link to find out what they are at the time that you're watching this. Firstly, then we can get set up with an account. So I'm sure you can do that with an email. For right now, you don't need KYC for this exchange, but if you want to put fiat currency on and deposit fiat currency, you will need KYC for that. So if you have another exchange and you just want to import some crypto and trade, that doesn't require KYC for now. So sign up for an account. Like I said, that link below has some deposit bonuses. So click that to find out what they are at the current time. But once you have an account, then you can come to your wallets and overview. This is essentially your account, which shows you all of the crypto and other currencies that you have on your account and the various different accounts that you can switch them into. So firstly, what I would do when setting up an account is to come to your settings. A few things that we really need to get done. Firstly is identification. Just click on this to do KYC. You can see that without KYC, you actually have a limit of 20 Bitcoin withdrawal within 24 hours, which is enough for most people. But if you want fiat currencies, you do need to do that KYC so you can put those details in. The other thing is security right here, which you're going to want. So you can click on that, come through to this. What I would do is get Google Authenticator and link that up with the account. If your account gets hacked for any reason and you have Google Authenticator set up, it just puts an extra barrier in. Unless they have that as well, it's really difficult for them to withdraw anything from the platform. So I would get that set up. The other thing that you might want to do is set up a withdrawal whitelist as well. That's in your security settings right here, withdrawal whitelist. If you click on this, you can put some other account addresses in. So if you have other exchanges or other wallets that you want to send to easily, just add them all to your whitelist. Next, we'll get to depositing some fiat currencies on the platform. This is going to change depending on what currency that you have and where you live as to which one is best for you. But if you go to buy and then debit and credit card, this is good for US dollar payments. If you're in the States, this one is pretty easy. Just use a card with USD. The fees are going to be pretty high. And if you don't have USD, then there'll be a currency transaction on the card as well, which is going to be, quite a lot in terms of fees. The other way to do it is to go to quick buy sell. This has support for more local currencies. So if you're outside the States, click here. You can see Aussie dollars, pound sterling are going to be supported. So that's better if you're outside the States. You can pay with Google and Apple Pay as well. So if you download the MEXC app, that might be a lot easier for you, but you are still going to be paying quite high fees. The other option is to go to third-party payment. These are not MEXC. They basically take you to a third-party platform to make a card payment. Now, these are pretty popular in the crypto space. Banks are Simplex, MoonPay. You have an account with them and you link up your Visa, make a payment to them, and they do the transaction and send the crypto back into your MEXC account. Again, just check for the fees here because they can be pretty high for sure. The other way is a bank transfer, which is going to be the cheapest way, so global bank transfer here, and you can see the currency supported is USD, Brazilian real as well, but really USD. So what a lot of people would do was essentially get an FX service, take their local currency, put it into the FX app, change it at a low fee there, and then from that FX application or the fintech application, then send a Swift or a Fed wire with USD into their account here. Now, if you go and press and continue, what will happen is they'll give you an account number, which is your account, and their bank details, and then you just have to input that and actually send them a wire or a Swift. Make sure to use your account number so they know which account to put it into. That's going to be the cheapest way with, depending on the methods, going to be anywhere from $0 to like maybe $15 for the transaction. So as a flat fee, that's going to be the cheapest depending on how much you deposit. MEXC has really good support for a lot of different blockchains when depositing crypto on the platform and taking it off. So we'll look at depositing and withdrawing here. If you go up to deposit, then you'll see all of the crypto options. MEXC has really good support for US dollar tether networks. So if we just click on USDT, which is what most people would want to import, go on available network, and you can see support for many different chains here. So TRC20 is Tron. So if you want to deposit US dollar tether from another exchange, you can do it if Tron is supported. Fees are going to be really low here on both sides of it. If you go down to Binance Smart Chain as well, that's going to be really low cost. You can even use Solana, which is super low cost, Matic, as you can see here. Or if you want to use the Ethereum blockchain, you can. That's just going to be more expensive. So when depositing in, what you'll need to do is click the network that you want to use. You'll see an address right here. You can copy that in and then go over to the other exchange or wallet and paste that address. Now you'll need to use the exact same network on both ends. So as long as both wallets support Tron network, you can transfer in US dollar Tether over Tron network and pay usually about $1 or something versus Ethereum, which might be $5 or $7. So really good support for a lot of different blockchains, and you can use all of them as long as they're supported on each side. It's the exact opposite to withdraw cryptos. So you just click on withdraw up at the top right. If you have any balances here, you can see I've got some US dollar Tether here. So click on that, then go over to the other wallet or exchange, get the address, whatever network that may be, and it will automatically show you what the network should be. But if it doesn't, just come down and click which network that you want to use. Make sure it's the same on both ends. You can see the fees here are flat $1 fees to transfer out. Just click submit and that will go through. Now there are many different accounts in MEXC, so I'll just quickly go over them and what they actually mean and transferring between them. So you have a spot account. This is where all of your actual cryptocurrencies that you hold and own will be. You have a futures account, which is for futures trading. You can easily transfer some assets into here. A fiat account, if you've deposited some dollars or other fiat currency onto the account via a bank transfer, it might be in here. You also have a margin account, which is for margin trading. So again, put like $1,000 in here and that'll be able to fund your account with some margin, right? So they might give you 5 times margin. So you can put some assets in there to actually margin against. And then the quant account, this is for trading bots. For some reason, they call it a quant account, not really sure why, but they have some trading bots that they're setting up. So you need to fund that account specifically to actually use those trading bots. So that will be in here. I'm going to go over to spot account. And then we want to transfer some money into our futures account. Come up and press transfer. You can see from, so choose the account that has some assets in there. And then 2, you can choose all the different accounts that you want to fund. Choose the crypto that you want to transfer and then put the amount in that you want to transfer over. So if you put $100, press transfer now. You don't have to pay for this. This is an internal transfer. So it just instantly puts some value into the account that you want to put it into. We'll get on to trading crypto then in the spot market. MEXC doesn't have an easy to use convert feature like a lot of other applications. They're really just focused on the professional trading screen. So I'll show you exactly how to trade on there. We'll go over to trade. By the way, check out the link for deposit bonuses as well. If you're going to use MEXC, you might as well get a deposit bonus there. So check that link in the description, but we'll go over to spot right here. And this is the professional trading screen. So we want to kind of look around and see what we want to do. So on the left-hand side, we have the order book. This is the market in whatever cryptocurrency that you're looking at the time. In the middle, you have the chart right here, and then this is the trading portion right here that you can either use to buy or sell. You have market trades on the right hand side. This is just all of the actual trades that go ahead in the market. So if we zoom in here, you can see all of these different trades are going through right now. You can see the price that they trade at. Green is for buy, red is for sell. At least that's what the system actually thinks, depending on what the prices are, the amount that's being traded at the time, and then the actual timestamp of that trade as well. Now, what you're going to want to do is obviously search for a crypto that you want to trade. So we'll go up here and I'm going to type in Bitcoin, and you see lots of different options here. So the top one is going to be the main currency pair that you want to trade in the spot market. That's the cash settled market. So if you actually want to buy something and hold it, that will be the first one. If you see underneath here, it says perpetual. That's the futures market. We'll get onto that in a second. If you want to buy and hold, we're not using that market. That's a different market. And then all of these are different. These are essentially leverage tokens. So you can see 3 long and 3 short. What this is a speculative token. So if you want to go long Bitcoin and you think it's going to go up in value, this is a 3 times long. So this token is going to react 3 times what Bitcoin does. Okay, so it's a leverage token. So definitely more for speculation, not really for buying and holding and dollar cost averaging, right? But if you want to trade those and speculate, they are there for you. Obviously, the 3 short is if you want to go 3 times short Bitcoin, you can do that here. So, and you can also go up to 5x. So those are speculative tokens. The top token at the top, that will just be the normal spot market. So we'll click on that right here. And as you can see, it changes. So on the left-hand side, we now have the price, $20,272 for 1 Bitcoin. And on the right hand side, if you go up to settings, you can definitely change this around if you want. So you can change around dark mode and light mode. You can also just, see the layout and everything and change that as you want. So I won't go through that, but that option is there. There are some different options you can use when trading. So I'll go through them now just to describe what they are. The first one, and the one that most people use, is a market order. This is when you don't choose the price that you pay, but you choose the amount that you want to buy. So the price of Bitcoin right now is 20,280. You can't choose the price that you pay. You just get the price in the market, whatever it is at the time that you buy. And let's say we want to spend 100 USDT, you can do that, or you can just change the slider here. And it's going to immediately fill your order at whatever price that is. That's good to get things done, but you might actually want to try and get a better price or have a limit on your price. So you can do that. If we change to limit, what you'll see is that we can now enter a price. So the current price in the market is 20,285. But what we want to do is actually buy a little bit lower. So let's say 20,250. And I can put in an amount that I want to buy, let's say $400. Now, what this is going to do, I'm going to change this to something crazy like 15, and then just put a buy in here. And you'll see down here, I've got an order now. So I've told the system that if the Bitcoin price comes down to $15,000 per Bitcoin, I want to buy $317 worth. You can see that here. That order is now working for me in the system, and I've told the system that that's what I want to happen. So it will show you all of those details. Now, the price of Bitcoin is 20,000, and so I'm not going to be able to buy at 15,000. My bid is too cheap, but you can see how that works, putting in your details right here, what you want the trade to happen. I'm just going to cancel that order out, and that order is gone. Now, if I put a limit order in at above the market price, around 20,279, you can see that that's going to go through straight away. So if I press buy BTC, it will actually buy Bitcoin at 20,279 and below. So if the price in the market is below, it will get me the better price. And if it's above that, then it's not going to trade. So that's a limit order. You choose the price that you pay. A stop limit is a little bit different. This is an order where you tell the system to enter an order dependent on a price. So this is a limit order that only triggers at a certain price. I'll go through that now. So let's say trigger price right here, 21,000, and then the price that you want to pay, 21,000. Let's put an amount in of, let's say some dollars here. What this does now is it doesn't enter your order like a limit order down here. It will actually keep this stop limit in the system, and it will only trigger the limit order when the price reaches 21,000. So what you can say is, when the price reaches 21,000, I want to put a limit order in of 20,000, something like that. You can change that around below or above, but the limit order will only go in when that trigger price is reached. That is useful for some more advanced trading techniques, but that's it if you want to use it. But most people will just use limit and market orders, and then it's the exact opposite for when you sell as well. MEXC also uses TradingView as their charting software, which is the same as Bybit and Binance and other top exchanges. Come up to TradingView here, and you can put all of the analysis on the chart. So if we go down to this function button right here, you've got all of the different ways to analyze technicals. They're all here. It's just the same as TradingView. So if you put in moving average, you can put those on the chart. They are here, and you can very easily just plus this button out, and you can see all these moving averages. You can change them around easily. You can turn them on and off. So you can see that, and then you can change the format of them right here. Now, I've got some other videos on technical analysis and trading and some trading strategies. I'll leave all of them in the description because it's just much better to put them in their separate videos. So if you want to know how to use technical analysis, how to trade, those videos in the description. I also have a crypto investing course that goes through 200 plus videos of trading and investing. So linked in the description if you want to go further with that. You might also want to trade futures on MEXC. A lot of people do this. So we'll quickly have an overview of that section of the platform. If you go to futures, there's a lot of different options here. We'll just go to futures overview to see. You can trade with leverage, you can trade long, you can trade short. It's much like every other platform. So they actually have a demo trading feature. So if you do want to kind of try out a trading, you can use demo trading. But what we want to do is either choose USDTM or CoinM. So like I said, you can go over to your wallets and transfer some US dollar tether into your futures trading account or Bitcoin or anything else. Now with futures, they essentially lend you money to trade with, and you have a balance as collateral to kind of fund your trades. USDTM is when you use US dollar tether to fund your trades. CoinM is when you use an actual cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or ETH to fund your trades. Most people will use US dollar tether because it's fixed in its price, as in it's not a risk asset that kind of changes. Everything is quoted in dollars, which is why people use US dollar tether to fund their positions. So we'll go on USDTM. By the way, I do have a specific futures trading guide on MEXC that goes through this in much more detail. So I'll link that in the description as well. They also give up to $4,000 as a deposit bonus as well. So that link if you do want to trade futures here. But the system is exactly the same in terms of the layout and trading and everything. So the important thing to know with futures is you have a funding rate. This is something that you either pay or receive. It does annualize at around 8 to 10% depending on the platform. And so this is just a way to keep the futures market in check, but something to be really aware of. I go through that in more detail in the futures trading guides, but on the right hand side, you can definitely use leverage here. So again, if you have some US dollar tether in your account, you can go over to your leverage. So we'll click on this one. You can change this around. So let's say you want to go long on leverage. You can choose anywhere up to, ridiculous amounts. If you're new, I really don't recommend using leverage at all. Most people will stick to kind of 10x at the absolute maximum, but obviously everyone can choose that. Now, cross and isolated margin. Isolated margin is when each individual position that you have has its own margin that you put on. Now, cross margin is when you use your margin, your collateral, to fund all of the positions collectively. Most people will use isolated as it isolates each individual position. So if one of your position goes wrong and blows up, the other positions can, still, be there. Because if cross margin is used, then the position that blows up will kind of suck in all of your collateral into that. So most people use isolated margin, but you can change this both long and short to whatever you want. Now, it's exactly the same for trading futures. You just put in how much you want to trade. And then with futures, you can open a long, which is betting on the price going up, or open a short, which is betting on the price going down. And then obviously you're going to close out those trades at some point. Futures is definitely more for shorter term trading. And there's a lot of other things to know. So I'll leave that for the specific guide that I'll link in the description. A really new feature on MEXC is the trading bots. They're just setting this up. They just have one trading bot right now, which is a grid trading bot. I'll show you that. You go to trade and then quant trading. I'm sure they'll change the name to trading bots eventually, but you have a spot grid bot right here. Now, I've got other videos on what a spot grid is. I'll leave that in the description as well, but we can create a grid. And what you can do here is let a trading bot essentially try and earn some profits and yield from the market. You can set this up however you want. And then put some spot currency like US dollar tether here that you want to invest, and then choose the currency that you want to trade. At the moment, as it stands, it's US dollar and Bitcoin that you can trade, and you can set the bot up with parameters, and then it will automatically trade for you over and over again, trying to earn small profits out of the market. Like I said, that's for another video as well. Essentially what it does is just try and earn profits over time, and you can set up how often you want it to try and purchase and sell and everything like that. I have specific videos on exactly what those grid bots are and some of the pros and cons of them. Again, I'll leave that for the specific guide in the description. MEXC does also have an earn platform, and you have some staking and some lending on here as well. So I'll quickly go through that. We can go to earn, and there's a lot of different options here. Really, the main ones I would say are staking. So you have flexible and lock staking. Now, they call this staking, but a lot of the assets on here cannot be staked. So this is potentially lending as well. So whether you want to do this or not is up to you. If you have some US dollar tether or USDC on your account that is waiting to be traded, then maybe you'd want to put it in flexible savings here. And you can see they give you a small APY, but you can press stake now. Now this is a lending product because you can't stake USDC, but it essentially gives you a small profit that's flexible, so you can withdraw that when you actually want to go ahead and trade, and you're earning that APY for having those dollars on the system. If you go to locked staking, this is actually staking with proof of stake cryptos. They don't have very good support here, but if you have DOT or these other two, you can stake that. There is a lockup and a minimum period, but you do get an APY on those if you have those in the system. Something fairly unique on MEXC as well as their indexes, so I'll quickly show you that. This is an ETF, so ETF index, click this, and it essentially has a portfolio or a grouping of assets that make up a certain exposure. So you can see the Polkadot Eco Index here, Ecosystem Index. It has DOT, Kasama. If you go to the Coinbase Investment Index, this is what Coinbase has invested in, or at least some of the coins. Major crypto index, Bitcoin and ETH in there with some other ones. I'm not a massive fan of this, mostly because most of the coins in these I don't really want to own anyway. But for some people, it might be, you know, fairly useful feature. I think this is basically securitization of crypto, which might be a regulatory issue. So this product might not last, but it's there anyway, just in case you want it, and you might find it useful. If you want more specific guides on trading futures and trading bots and everything, those links are in the description for you. And if you want the deposit bonus on MEXC, that link is down there as well. I'm James with MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.